ठीक है लाइव में
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Sunair Asad and I am your host for today's session. I welcome you all to the mentoring session for IEEE Explore. Before we start, I would like to introduce our mentor for today's session, Mr. Salheen Bakht. Mr. Salheen has been accredited as the top coder for IEEE Extreme. He is an award-winning computer science graduate with specialization in data science and AI from Harvard Global Leader in Science and Tech. He has won numerous national and international awards. He has more than 17 and of working with the government, multinational corporates, and private conglomerates. He has completed several hundred projects, including an under-process patent system in diversified software technologies for clients spanning more than 30 countries across the globe. He is ranked for more than a decade as first freelancer from Pakistan and 11th in the world out of tens of millions on global marketplace. He has served as technical consultant to World Bank for IT-based monitoring and reform projects. Mr. Salim, we welcome you to the event, and now you can start.
Thank you very much, Zunair, for a humble introduction. Thank you very much, Women in Engineering Lahore section, for having today's session, and all the attendants, dear audience. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Good evening to all the national and international audience. I'm very thankful to all the audience who have written me lots of emails previously, sent appreciations, and demanded the show before the final date of the competition. I'll personally like to thank Women in Engineering Lahore section for hosting today's session. Special thanks, not to forget Miss Safura and entire crew of Women in Engineering Lahore section. Y section and I first discussed about today's talk almost, I believe, 1.5 months ago. But due to busy schedules at both ends, thankfully, finally, it is happening today. So I feel honored to be with all the national and international audience. Thank you for joining today's show. I would have loved to be physically present with you all, but maybe once COVID-19 has gone. So we are here today to talk about IEEE Extreme 14. You all should be happy that because of huge number of requests, the deadline to register worldwide got extended till October 16 and 2020. IEEE Extreme is largest programming competition around the globe. If you want to rank yourself as a coder, uh, then there is no better global scale than IEEE Extreme. Students around the globe, including Ivy League universities, compete in the event. So let's get started. I'll share my presentation and further we'll cover it in details. Uh, Moderator, let me know when you can see my screen.
Sure, sir.
So can you see it?
No, sir, not yet.
It's showing that it is here.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, maybe I should go this way.
Okay, sir, we can see your screen.
Okay, I think there is some noise. Maybe if the speakers can be turned off from one of the management or organizing team. Yet, thanks very much. So, moderator, can you see my screen?
No, sir, it's not visible yet.
I think it does
Yes,
now.
yes, we can.
Okay, okay, I'm sorry. The presentation has been shared. IEEE Extreme 14 is going to happen on October 24, probably in like 10 days are left. Uh, my email is there. If you have any queries, please do write to me. If you want to, after this session, contact me. You got my mobile number on the screen and you have my email. The introduction has been given. What is IEEE Extreme 14? IEEE Extreme is a 24-hour global coding contest in which teams of IEEE student members, advised and proctored by an IEEE member, compete to see who can successfully complete programming challenges the fastest. Okay, this is one of the most furious competitions around the globe. You have to be analytically very strong. The programming fundamentals must be on your trips. You must be hands-on with all the algorithms and shorter, I mean, programming tasks that are going to be utilized in this in the programming competition while you are solving a problem. So it's a 24-hour means to say it would start. IEEE Extreme 14 will be held on 24 October 2020, which is going to be Saturday. Normally, this competition happens every year on Saturdays. Why? Because in the time uh, which is 000 UTC is selected in a way that most part of the world remain available, or weekend starts in most part of the world so that people can easily participate out of their busy schedules and stuff like that. So why do we call it IEEE Extreme 14? Because this is consecutively 14th year the competition is going to happen. So in Pakistan, the competition will start at 5 o'clock in the morning and will keep on continuing till 4:59 a.m. on October 24, which is Sunday. The competition was created to provide IEEE student members with a new and interesting activity. Programming is a dull thing. I can remember first time when I started learning programming. It was probably Pascal and then Fortran. So it was not aligned to my personality. It was some kind of very strange or different sort of thing for me to do. And of course, uh, kind of had feelings that it's something dull to do or stuff like that. But it's not like that. Anyways, back to the point. IEEE. So through this competition, an attempt has been made to develop interest within the students around the globe for programming. The next point is give IEEE members a challenge to embrace teamwork, an important skill to develop for career success. Yes, of course. When you will graduate, you and will start doing a job in any small or medium or large organization, you will find out that in order to develop a software, close communication with your peers, with your colleagues, is going to be highly important. So if the project scale is larger, the larger scale of the project, larger number of team members you are going to interact with. So it's a kind of rehearsal for all those who compete in the competition before getting your first job, that you have sort of live experience what's going to happen once you are out of the college or university. The next point is increase the number of IEEE student activities with a focus on the computer programming and information technology fields. Yeah, of course. Next point is, I think it's about 80 plus countries. I'll reconfirm because recent data has not been compiled. The teams, all we were quite busy in promotional and other arrangements at administrative level. But I think the number of the countries is like 80 or 80 plus at the moment. I'll update and share with you all later on. But still 75 plus countries, 75 countries is a big number. So you are going to get a lot of variety around the globe of intellectuals who are going to compete in the competition. Simple requirement for IEEE Extreme 14. I have got lots and lots of queries and questions and confusions. What are the requirements for IEEE Extreme 14? So lots of people, students, faculty members, they thought that it's going to be very difficult process for the registration and even to apply for the competition, or even to prepare the students, or the participant preparing themselves is going to be very tough. It's nothing like that. So especially focus and prepared in bullet form the steps which you need in order, which are quite simple in order to participate or register yourself in the competition. Participants must compete as part of a team. Teams are comprised of up to 3 IEEE student or graduate student members, but can only include a maximum of 2 graduate student members per team. Compete as a part of a team, that means it's not a compulsion, but it's an option, and it's a choice. It's better if you compete in the team so that the burden is shared, and so that the performance of the team can be raised in the competition or in the final ranking. So teams are comprised of maximum of three number of members. You need to have IEEE student membership or graduate student membership. By the way, the price of both membership is the same, which is like 13.5 US dollars for biannual membership, or $27 for annual membership. But you also have to ensure that maximum of 2 graduate student members per team can register themselves. It's not like that. If there that a team can have 3 graduate student members, it is not allowed. So one student member or 2 student member and 1 graduate student member, this would suffice. Or maybe 2 student members, 2 graduate student member, 1 student member, 2 student members, 1 graduate student member. These are going to be the combos for the formation of the team in order to register or participate in the competition. Next point is teams may be supported by an IEEE student branch, but this is not required to participate. This is quite interesting. I got some queries from universities, from colleges, which did not have any student chapters or student branch set up. So this is kind of not a requirement, but it is recommended. Why? Because it is if you have a student branch, they can easily communicate with the concerned higher ups of IEEE or their representatives within Pakistan, like myself, or they can also develop a curriculum to give an organic growth to their students for competing in competitions such as this one. But if you do not have, unfortunately, if you do not have a student branch of IEEE in your college or university, you can still participate. uh, do reach to me. I'll help you out. I'll mentor you. I'll give you all the knowledge you need to register and get good score in the competition. All team members must be IEEE student or graduate student members to register and compete in the competition. It is self-obvious. Next point is IEEE membership numbers are required during the registration process. So those of you listening and do not have experience of registering themselves with IEEE, let me tell you, whenever you register on IEEE website, they will give you a unique ID, which is going to be called your membership number or membership registration ID, blah, blah, blah. So that number would be required when you will be registering yourself for IEEEXtreme. All team members must be over the age of 18. Of course, they have their own policies. By the way, I do believe that the students, the youngster of the age 16 or 17, they can be a very good programmer because they are at uh, the peak of nurturing their personality, their mental capabilities, their growth, etc. But all I can do is that I've recommended. But for this year, the limit is at least 18 years for your age to participate. For each member of the team to participate or qualify for the competition. Next point, prior to registration, each team is responsible for locating one or more eligible proctor who will supervise the team during the competition. Now, who are the proctors? This is another question. Proctor can be anyone who has higher level or higher degree of IEEE membership. Proctor is not going to be graduate or student member, but rather it may be professional or lifetime member or senior member or any other category of membership. So if you are, there is a list of proctors available on IEEEXtreme.org official website. There are people from Pakistan who are providing their proctorship services for the competition. But if you are unable to find some, do reach me. I'll proctor your team myself or maybe refer you to some better option. So what are the TORs or job responsibilities of a proctor? I'll cover that later on. In order to rank in the competition, a team must have a proctor in confirmed status. What does that mean? Now, what happens is that when you will be registering for the competition, you will provide email ID of the person who is going to provide proctor services to your team during the competition. Now, if you will have to approach the person and request him that, sir, madam, an email from IEEE has been sent to you officially. Kindly open the email and click on the accept button for confirming his/her proctorship services for your team, and that's it. So if what happens if the email remains idle or unattended in the mailbox and the invitation of proctorship is not accepted by your proctor, you will not be eligible to get ranked in the competition. Maybe you are able to compete to solve some problems or enter or log in the competition website, but you will not be ranked altogether when the final official ranking will be issued. So don't forget this thing. This is highly critical for all of you. Next point is, at the time of the competition, all teams whose proctor remains in unconfirmed or declined status while able to participate will not be eligible for prizes or participation certificates. So what happens if that you start competing and maybe you are in the top 10 of the world, which is a very smart number, but unfortunately your proctor has not accepted proctorship invitation, you are in a big trouble. You will straightforwardly be not ranked or anywhere in the competition. So kindly ensure this step. Additionally, their ranking in the competition will not be included in the final rankings. As I have mentioned, it is the team administrator's responsibility to verify the proctor status prior to the competition. Now, who is the team administrator? When you will be registering for the competition, they will ask you who is going to the name of the administrator, the credentials for him or her, and who are going to be the members, the other two people, the members of the team. So normally, if normally it is the administrator of the team would be someone who would have some higher uh, passion or IQ level or analytical skills or managerial skills, whatever or however, different people globally define it different way that who has to be the administrator of their team. So however you define administrator is going to be someone superior who will be who will have more responsibility to lead the team. Team members must solve and complete the problems without assistance from other people or pre-written code. I'm sure none of you would follow, but nonetheless, it's a requirement. But I would recommend to follow if you can. Please note that the intent and spirit of the competition is for the students, not others to solve a problem. Now, guys, I have noticed that students get serious about their ranking. So what's the use of the ranking if you are on merit, not ranked? uh, uh, I mean, when it comes to analyzing your own skills or your own aptitude for programming. Maybe in this competition, I'm sure IEEE Extreme will never let you score good number or position if you do not have a natural aptitude for programming and if you do not deserve it naturally. So, but nonetheless, work hard and not to depend upon the help of others because I'll explain later on the difficulty level of the problems. So I would doubt that someone not in good practice would be able to help you out. And if someone is in good practice of programming, why would he she not register him herself directly in the competition and would help only you to score better? Anyways, persons acting as proctors must limit the level of support and must not contribute in any way. Proctors are not the persons who will write a code for you or solve the problems on your behalf. The purpose of the proctor would be to ensure logistics, would be to keep the morale of the team high, or maybe give you little bit of hints if required, not the solution of the problem, but little bit of hint, a kind of advisor, you may say, or is going to be the role of the proctor. The real role of the proctor comes before the competition. If you need to know what sort of problems are going to be there, if you want to know the directions in which you have to prepare yourself for the competition, these kind of things are what proctors normally do. He can be a kind of your mentor, kind of your advisor, kind of a 12th man in your team, or lifeline, whatever you, however you want to interpret. Sponsor reserves the right to analyze all submissions for plagiarism and disqualify any team in its sole discretion if the team's work is not its own. Look, this is a highly critical point, and you must not take it lightly in any ways. What are the sponsors? Sponsors are those which sponsor financially to this program for conducting it around the globe. Although IEEE Extreme does have a team of volunteers, but a competition of this large scale cannot be totally managed or organized worldwide just by depending on the volunteers. There is a highly professional teams of managers, technical peoples, industry experts who are who financially who are hired for conducting a programming competition such as this one. They keep on working hard to make this day happen for an year. And of course, considerable amount of finances from some sponsor or from some other sources are required to finance such an HR. So sponsors are those who provide that fund, and of course, they are at the superior level. So they have the right to own your code, all the problems you solve, your methodologies, your techniques, the approaches you take, maybe statistical approaches, the mathematical approaches, algorithmic approaches. They own everything. It doesn't matter if you score any position or not. Sponsor reserve the right to analyze all submissions. For they submissions for plagiarism disqualify. That would be a next point. Next point I'll be explaining. But this, in this point, plagiarism. Yes, another point that you need to understand is about plagiarism of the source code. So if you are copying a source code from internet, don't utilize it. I would not recommend to use a source code or copy a code from the internet. The better option is to create or invent or write the source code by your own self, using your own skills, your own thought processes, your own aptitude. But even if you are, but for some reason you are not able to write a program and you want to copy it, don't utilize it exactly how it is available on the internet. Just tweak it, understand it, tweak it, change it, utilize your logics over the source code in a way that it does not get caught. Because if you are caught in this way, you will be straightforwardly disqualified. Doesn't matter if you have uh, if 90% of your solutions are authentic, or maybe 99% of your solutions are authentic and only 1% is plagiarized, you will be disqualified in totality. Each team must have a proctor to supervise competition activities. Explained earlier, proctors must be an IEEE member of higher membership grade. Student or graduate student members are not allowed to proctor but are encouraged to participate as team member in the competition. Proctor information, that is IEEE membership number, is required during the registration process. I explained this point earlier. Student branch counselors, mentors, and student branch chapter advisors may be potential proctors. Many IEEE young professionals are higher grade IEEE members and may be eligible to serve as proctors as well. All these points I covered already. IEEE Extreme Problems, the very interesting and much awaited session for all those interested to participate this year. Problems are developed and judged by expert programmers. So usually what happens, the competition that you participate at local levels, maybe within your county, within your city, within your state, city, within your certain geographical area within your country. Those are probably designed, in most of the cases, what my study says, my research says, those are designed by academicians. This is not the case in with IEEE Extreme. IEEE Extreme has a technical members from industry, from academia, from research background, and if there is going to be any other category, that too is part of designing problems, authenticating them that they are possible to program. These can be real world problems. These can be very difficult. These can be mathematical problems, easy to solve. And next, I explain the difficulty level. All entrants agree and acknowledge that sponsor is the owner of all problems and any associated code. I have explained already previously when I was explaining plagiarized code point, why sponsors are important and what is their role in the entire competition. Next point, entrants further agreed that they will not use the problems or any associated code for any reason other than the competition without written permission from sponsor. This I have already explained as well. The panel of judges is made up of higher grade IEEE members. Excuse me. Excuse me. The panel of judges is made up of higher grade IEEE members from both academic and industrial backgrounds. Problems will be categorized as easy, moderate, difficult, advanced, and extreme to allow students of all experience levels to participate. So this is the most important point of the competition. Registration is a hurdle. Finding good proctor was another step. But these are not the core to score good. The core problems to score good in the competition. The core point to score good or better or the best in the competition is this one. You need to understand the difficulty level of the problems. There are 5 difficulty levels of the problem. Number one kind of problems, they are easy. Number two, they are moderate, neither easy nor difficult. Third point is difficult. Of course, uh, I would doubt any moderate programmer would be able to solve difficult problems. No, advanced and extreme requires exceptionally high skills to solve those problems. So you got to be careful when you will be solving or selecting any problem to write its program. You need to be comfortable with its difficulty level. If you think that the problem is highly advanced or extreme, or you did not even get a clue, it feels like you are handling a puzzle which you even don't understand where to go, from where to start and where to end. Don't solve that problem. Just move to the next one and start reading next problem. If you find that comfortable, okay. If you feel that you will solve it in like 4 hours, fine, start working on it. But after you have studied the next problem, because maybe the current problem you are studying, you may solve it in 4 hours. The next one maybe you can solve in 10 minutes. So it's always better to study these problem statements while you are writing a code. Now, how the problems are flooded in the system, it's not that at 5 a.m. in the morning, if the competition starts. By the way, 5 a.m. is for Pakistan time. Those who are attending the session internationally, they need to know universal time 000000 is the time when the competition is going to start. Now, if you will convert this time, you should convert this time, your local time, you'll figure it out at what time the competition would start. Now back to the difficulty level. So I've explained how to approach. Next, let's cover the difficulties and how to overcome this challenge. I think I have covered enough on the 5 difficulty levels. Yes, the last point that I might skip. What happens when you will start the competition at 5 a.m. or 00 universal time? The first problem that will be flooded in the system is not easier. Normally, maybe it's advanced, extreme, or difficult. It's neither easy nor moderate. This is a kind of pattern I have known or seen from previous problems. So you would not have any second problem. Why? Because IEEE Extreme would not give you complete list of problems at the start of the competition. They will start flooding. They will start the competition by providing you one problem. With the passage of time, as the time moves on, they after 1 hour or certain uh, number of hours, they will flood another problem in the system. And similarly, then the third problem would come after another time interval, and fourth and fifth, and the process would continue. Most probably, the experience I had previously, you will get more than 20 problems in a competition. What is going to be the exact number? I have not seen a pattern in that, but at least 20 problems, and those problems will not be provided you at the start of the competition. So you got to be sure if you start uh, while the competition has started and you have been given a problem which is which you are unable to solve, or maybe which is difficult to solve. After 1 hour, as the second problems enters in the system, stop doing programming or solving the first problem and read the statement. Maybe that's an easier problem you can solve in 10 minutes. And it's always good to solve easier problem at the first uh, hand. Why? Because if you will not solve, I'll solve the problem, the level or the points or the weightage of the problem will start decreasing. So the moment you get easier problem, it's always better to solve it at the very first moment before a large number of participants solve it. Why? Because if 1,000 people or maybe 20,000 teams have solved a problem, and you are 20,000 first, I mean, person, a team who is going to solve that, you will not have that weightage which the first team who solved the same problem at the very first point. So this is a very notable point. Don't get bogged down over this thing. So this might be the case for the later problems to come in or enter into the system. So you got to be careful. As the problem enters in the system, you will be informed by an alert in the programming competition console. So start reading it, and if you feel that you can solve it like half hours or 15 minutes or 10 minutes, do solve it. And once it is solved, then get back to the other problems you were trying to solve previously. So always I would not recommend to spend whole day solving an extreme or advanced problem. It's always a better and smart choice to solve easy, moderate, and difficult problems first. And once you have solved all easy, moderate, or difficult problems and you have nothing to do, then you should make your chances for advanced or extreme teams. Now, the other point you need to know about solving a problem or providing a solution to a problem is attached with the weightage of the problem. Like, for example, if the easier problem, no matter at what number, at what position you solve the problem, maybe you are at the first to solve an easier problem. If it has 10 weightage, the extreme problem may have 100 weightage to solve it. So it's not the equal thing. It makes sense. Why? Because one problem is easier and the other problem requires special skills, special aptitude, special analytical ability, special some kind of exceptional qualities to solve. So the weightage would never going to be the same. So it works like this. So this can also work in a way if you solve 5 easier problem or one moderate problem, and solve on the other hand solve one extreme problem, they both may have the same kind of weightage. So how it's gonna happen this year in the competition, that's probably a secret. But you got to work things out. This keeping in mind this approach that I have shared with you. So maybe during the competition, while you are solving the problems, you find a better pattern in the flooding of the problems in the systems, and maybe you can score better. So by the way, that was a trick that I have shared it, and you are responsible to further work over it. Statistics about IEEE Extreme 14. More than 9,000 participant teams from around the globe participated for last year competition. So usually what happens, these kind of statistics, these are, I'm sorry, statistics about IEEE Extreme 13. For 14, the statistics will be announced or made public once the result of the competition is going to be announced, which is going to happen maybe in November or December. So these are previous year's competition statistics. Not much publicity was made, and this year we have applied new tactics and tricks. And of course, it was COVID. Still, there is still our efforts are marginalized, but yet good efforts and good uh, publicity has been made, and good response has been received. But there is always room for improvement. Number one point, more than 9,000 participant teams from around the globe participated for last year competition. 9,000 multiplied by 3, you can figure out the number of people participated. More than 600, 606,933 compilations were made in previous year competition. This is the most interesting point. You got to understand it when you when you will log in the console to start your competition as a team. Uh, what happens? You are connected to a virtual network. That's going to be a one website where all the teams around the globe are connected. So what happens is that whatever source code you are writing and you are submitting it to the compiler, that's happening on a one single website. So it's so you can imagine the magnitude of the website where thousands and thousands and sometimes millions of compilations are being run, and most of the and millions of hits are being made to the website server itself where you are competing the competition. So you can imagine the magnitude, the preparation, the hard work, the genius of the team behind who is technically going to organize the competition. So I'm sure you guys would, those who are going to participate for the first time and they are geeks and they really love programming, I'm sure you are going to get a hallmark of experience. Next point is more than 525 volunteers around the globe. This number has increased considerably. This is 525 volunteers was last year number. But like I've mentioned earlier, the competition is not conducted only with the help of the volunteers. Yes, volunteers are important, but the core team of the competition is the professionals who are being paid and who are trained experts, highly skilled people. Participants belong to more than 75 plus number of countries, which belong to a vast array of economic and educational classification. Yeah, that's true. This is not the competition only. The chance you are getting is to network with one of the brilliant mind of the world. So you would have people from USA, from Europe, from Australia, from Central Asia, East Asia, from South Asia, from Middle East, so you will, from Africa, not to forget. So you will get a very big and vast array of cultures, personalities, experiences. So it's up to you while you are competing, writing your code. By the way, there is not much time because the competition is very tough to score, to rank a better score. Normally, how I did in the competition previously, I just made a list of the people who were competing in the competition. During the competition, I did not have time to talk to them. Once the competition is over and I get 1 or 2 days after the competition of relaxation, after all the the pressure, uh, the preparation and everything, so I then people reached out to me, and I also, the people I was interested to talk to you or to network, they reached out to me. So this is an easier way. This way you will not be digress from your main point of, from your main goal of getting a good rank in the competition. At the same time, you will be able to get a list of to develop your network around the globe. 670 23 student branches around the globe participated for last competition. This number has also increased considerably for this year for IEEE Extreme 14. By the way, not to mention, these are IEEE Extreme 13 stats. More than 550 proctors around the globe are available to provide assistance and help registering for the competition. We have, again, this number has increased. We have good number of proctors this year, easily available. Past valuation criteria for IEEE Extreme, again, one of the most interesting point for all of you going to compete. If you solve a problem correctly, you get 20 points. By the way, this is not a standard for the competition. This is what I am sharing with you from my past experiences. Maybe the general understanding, general scoring for the competition going to be the same, but it's not necessary that it is going to be scored with 20 points or 80 extra points, stuff like that. It might be 10 or 1. The scale, the IEEE Extreme, IEEE USA is the team, or IEEE Extreme USA uh, is the final authority to decide this policy. So if you solve a problem correctly, you get 20 points. You can gain 80 extra points depending on how difficult the problem is. As I mentioned earlier, if you solve extreme problem and easy problem, the points are never going to be the same. And I gave you the example why, and that is quite justified. The difficulty of any problem comes from how many other teams solve the same problem. This is, again, as I mentioned, if you solve a problem first, you would get a better score, and the other who is solving the same problem as a second contestant and third and fourth, they would not be having the same weightage, or they will not be credited same way as you will be. Time is not directly included in the scoring formula, so you can take your time and solve the problem correctly. This is correct, but this does not mean you have to spend all your time on one problem or two problem, or maybe the solving most difficult problems. But of course, if you are going to solve a problem, if I have selected problem A, for example, and you also have selected problem A. If I have solved the problem in 1 hour and you are going to solve the same problem in 4 hours, don't get be fooled by this condition. You would never get the same weightage as I would get. Why? Because most of the people participating in the competition, if 10% or 20% have solved the problem approximately in 1 hour, like, or 40 minutes or 70 minutes or in between, and you are solving the same problem in like 150 minutes, the weightage is not going to be the same, and that is justified. The language you use to solve the problem will not harm your score. This is the beauty of the competition. If you compete in any other competitions, they may they may claim that you do not need to need a certain language expertise, but what happens actually is that the problems they flood in the system, they are somehow biased about a particular one or two or three maybe programming languages. But for IEEE Extreme, this is the beauty of the competition. No matter whatever language you have expertise or you are expert on, all the problems are 100% solvable in all the programming languages. All it requires is for you to be the master of a programming language. By the way, I am proudly, my tactic is most of the time wherever I went for mentoring to the students or the others, the graduate ones, so they particularly and specially asked, I got lots of email, what is my favorite language, how did I approach to the competition for the selection of the language. Let me tell you, I did not depend or rely on a single programming language. For solving some of the problems, if I felt that PHP is a good language and it has good APIs where I can quickly tweak the strings or maybe split it up or maybe sort it out, or if, for example, Java is a good option for multiplying two different arrays or matrices, so I would utilize Java. Or the same way, if I figured out that a particular problem can be solved in JavaScript, and so on and so forth. So this is, but for having this kind of I mean programming languages familiarity, you need to do lots and lots of hard work. So I would not scare you out to master all the programming languages. Of course, I still am not the master of all the programming language. There is always room for the improvement, but don't be afraid of choose one or two languages. What I would say is that C++, and the other one could be and the other could be any one of your uh, skills. Like for example, it might be Objective C, it might be Java, it might be Python. Python is better option. Why? Because if you develop your skills in Python, it's going, if Python is a future, why? Everybody knows who belongs to this field or who plans to pursue his career or future in the field. But if you are not comfortable with these languages, choose any two languages or one language that you feel comfortable, but then master it. So I'll assure you, if it will increase your probability to score better 40 to 50%. If you start exploring all the programming languages and become jack of all trade and master of none, you would remain at the bottom of the ranking of the competition, maybe the bottom 5%, the bottom 2% or 10%. But if you change your strategy and focus on the languages that you love or like, you would rank maybe in somewhere in the middle, or maybe around 70% or 50% of all the teams. Or if you are lucky enough, you might be ranked top 100 teams around the globe as well. There is no harm. So whatever language you select, that is totally your choice, but ensure that you then master that particular language. For your reference, all the listeners, all the audience, I have given you the URL where the competition normally happens, that is csacademy.com. So most of you may have concerns about the compiler version. So you can follow this URL and figure out the types of compilers which they support. So it will help you. So ensure that the same environment you set locally on your PC for the same compilers. Why? Because if you would have different compiler version installed on your PC and you write the code, maybe locally your system is accepting, but when you will give its submission to the live console, it may give you error. Yeah, the most important point, another one before I forget, there are penalties for wrong submissions. For example, you choose to solve problem A, you thought that after half an hour of effort you finalize your source code and you give your first submission for problem A. The compiler of the console warns you, gives you warning or error messages that the solution is not correct. So this is the first attempt. In second attempt, you correct the mistakes, you figure out what went wrong, and then you give your second submission. Now the score you are going to get is not going to be the same. You will be penalized for wrong submission. So kindly ensure that you have the same compilers locally installed on your machine where you are practicing as what is installed on csacademy.com console. And I have shared with you the URL. This is the most important point. Don't uh, do guerrilla submissions to the compiler. Kindly ensure that whatever solution you have finalized, it is covering all the scenarios rather than getting bummed out of the compiler or getting error messages in a good number. Because maybe giving 5-10 attempts to a problem, wrong attempts to a problem, you may not have any weightage left behind. I'm not sure, they have not informed me if there's going to be negative marking in this case or not. I can't be sure about that till I confirm it. But based on the penalty, I mean discipline or the pattern that I'm sharing with you, there should be negative marking for too many wrong submissions. But I'm not confirming it. This is my idea, which may be wrong. Venue selection for IEEE Extreme 14. IEEE Extreme gives you the opportunity to face worldwide teams with different levels. Come and prove your programming skills. Although IEEE Extreme is an online competition, a physical location or venue must be identified for each team to use during the 24-hour competition. So normally what happens if you do not have a venue, because this is also one of the most frequently asked queries that I have received. No problem if you are three members in a team and you do not have a single venue, maybe because of COVID or maybe because your universities are closed, nothing to worry about. You can connect remotely. For example, three of you can sit at your own facilities, at maybe at your house or whatever it is, and virtually you can make connection with each other, and there you can discuss the problems or maybe write solution and submit it. But the best option is that if you decide a single venue following SOPs of COVID-19, you finalize a single venue where you meet physically. Why? Because when you are working physically, it will give you a touch to work in a team, will boost your confidence compared to sitting alone in a single room and connecting virtually. The third benefit you would get, it would reduce communication time. Why? Because for remote communication, that also happens quickly, but while you are communicating your message and drawing something on the paper, the other person is not able to view it. This is what I have experienced. So if you are physically available at a single spot, the other person would quickly scribble whatever he she wants, your team member. You would understand it, you will program the source code and submit it, and boom. So this is a kind of comparison you have to draw by yourself. This is something, some decisions that you have to take by your own, given the situation of your universities or availability of the venue. Venues can be in an IEEE student branch office, a college lab. College lab is the best option, and I urge, I appeal, I request to all the colleges, kindly accommodate your students going to participate in the competition. If they score good, you are going to get a big repute, because IEEE is a global network. So if a student scores better and he she is studying in school ABC, so what happens, the student would be promoted, his future is bright, but at the same time school would also be promoted. Like student A from college ABC has scored this position, this is going to be a news. So you need to support your students for 24 hours, whatever they need, refreshment, uninterrupted power supply, good ambience, whatever it takes. Kindly, I appeal and request to all of you. So next point, the teams will need some connection to the internet, and at least, yeah, internet, fast internet and internet reliability. One of the crucial point of the competition. If you are getting interrupted, if you are having some kind of trouble, some connectivity issues, you will waste a lot of your time in this fuss. So who, who knows that you can solve the first 10 problems in maybe first 5 hours or 7 hours, but due to internet, if you are unable to submit them timely, you have you are as good as nothing. So kindly ensure that the venue you are going to select, it has all the amenities and facilities, faster internet, some space for you to relax. If you have want, or anyone from your team want to have a nap, that place should also be there. And other amenities, of course, you know better, you have to be there, you have to get yourself locked down for 24 hours continuously. So whatever you need, kindly ensure you have that beforehand, before you start or sit for the competition. IEEE Extreme Comparisons. So these are the comparisons of IEEE Extreme 9, which I have drawn you for you. You can see Ivy League universities, their talent, their student, their faculty. Everybody participate in the competition. They prepare themselves the whole year. They encourage a lot to their students. The students have undoubtedly better aptitude compared to other universities. But It is not certain. Not everybody can afford to go to MIT, but you may have a better aptitude compared to the students getting enrolled in MIT or University of Pennsylvania or Cornell or etc. So this is the right kind of competition where you can prove yourself. Maybe you are not able to make it up to one of the Ivy League colleges or universities, but you are equal or better in your skills, your aptitude, your resilience, your intelligence. This is the right competition for you, where you can prove it by your own self. So, apart from competition, you will get a good uh, crowd to network, to make new friends, win or lose. That doesn't matter. You would have an opportunity to share your cultures with them, because of course you have the same interest. Both are wants to pursue, or maybe both are in the same profession of programming. So lots and lots of opportunities in terms of networking, getting yourself ranked or compete with the Ivy League, etc. Winner selection criteria, the most important one. And of course, everybody wants to know about this section and reward section without knowing uh, what is the competition and what are the problems, etc. So here is another your favorite ones. Winners are determined strictly based on overall score as determined by the scoring outline above. I've explained you much about the weightage, the points, the scoring, the difficulty level of the problems. So probably by this slide you are already aware about many of the things, uh, and where you have to focus, and which things are should get out of the focus while preparing yourself for the competition. I noted above, in the case of a tie, time will be considered as a factor of ranked teams. I doubt that teams tie in a competition, in a difficult and rigorous competition such as this one. But if for some reason tie happens, so this would be the final factor upon which teams would be ranked. Yeah, the favorite one, reward for IEEE Extreme. What are going to be the rewards? So these are few the rewards which have been consistently given previously to the winners of previous competitions. And of course, official announcement of the records, which may be better for IEEE Extreme 14 this year. If not, that this is from the previous history of the competitions, can be said that what rewards were given to the previous winners may also be given for this year. If these can be revised to a better thing, you have to wait to know about those details. So $10,000 cash prize, expensive paid trip for each member of winning team to IEEE conference of their choice anywhere around the globe. Many people send me queries about visa processing and uh, staying there, etc. It's IEEE. If you and then it's the best competition, the largest one in the in the world. So if you score better, don't worry about these documentary formalities. These are peanuts for IEEE, for organization like IEEE. Second point, lucrative and expensive prizes for second, third, and runner-up positions. So if you, for some reason, are not at the top, doesn't matter. You score second or third or runner-up positions. You would last year IEEE gave smartwatches and latest iPhones to the winners. But let me tell you, prizes are one thing, which is a sort of accreditation. Of course, you will be given special certificate, the first, second, third, and other positions. The top 100 positions are the teams who score top 100 positions in the competition. They can officially call them top coders of the world. IEEE does recognize that. Previously, they have recognized top 100 position holders of the competition as top coders. So apart from these prizes, these small prizes, something bigger that you attain from a competition such as this one is your ability, your resilience, the rank you are achieving in the whole world out of 8.5 billion people. That matters the most. You will be officially recognized, maybe the first brain of this world who has scored the best in the competition, or maybe the second brain in the whole world who has scored second in the competition, and so on and so forth. You would all get a fairly equal opportunity to rank yourself among your peers, among the competitions, among the countries, the universities, the regions. It would be an equal and fair opportunity for all of you. So, first position, second, third, or maybe first 100, that's a good option if you can make up to that. If not, then don't get frustrated. Maybe if you score 20%, if your rank falls in top 20%, then consider yourself the best brain in the top 20% of the world, or maybe 50%, which is still better. So don't just consider these prizes as your goal to participate in the competition. Just rank yourself, just open the horizon of learning, and unleashing your skills, your aptitude, your abilities, your capabilities. See how far can you go. See what is hidden for you to attain and achieve in your lifetime. Number three is compete remotely from home. This is very simple requirement I have already explained. Why? Because for other sort of competitions you have to commute to some place, but in this competition, since it's virtual one and happens the same time around the globe, this is an added benefit of it. Number four is increased chances of getting a job in top tech companies. Yeah, this is a kind of reward that, or prize, that you can ask for. So if you score better, don't be worried, or don't think that you're alone. Someone somewhere is watching you. You are getting appreciated. You are in the headlines, or in the highlights, or in the good names for top tech companies and otherwise as well. So, by the way, scoring, my question to all those who are going to score top in the competition, it's good if you join a company, but I doubt that anybody doing good score is going to has to join these companies, or make his her own startup, a new tech company, because the people who started these companies, maybe they had the same kind of aptitude or the brain like the one you may have, or you prove to have. Number five is fancy and enticing item to add in your resume. Whatever your position is, it would give you an added benefit for the job after completion of your degrees. Number six is opportunity to network one of the brilliant programming minds around the globe. I mentioned Ivy Leagues and all, and people or talent from all other universities participate in the competition. Seventh is no completion barriers. Compete with Ivy League colleges or universities. Rank yourself among your peers within your own professional field. So I often say that if your race is not to get yourself ranked at the world level, maybe you are able to rank yourself amongst your friends, your peers, within your college or universities. Like, for example, if 20 teams are participating from your college, or maybe 10 teams are participating from your college, so you might score first out of all those 10 teams in this competition. So you can officially say that I scored uh, uh, the best thing, that I have achieved the best score within my college, if not at the world level. So this can also go this way as well. Why? Because it's otherwise true that if you are able to score better compared to the other teams participating from the same college, it's your right. You can claim for that as well. Formation of IEEE Extreme community. So, guys, I am mentoring IEEE Extreme from past 2 years, but this year, IEEE team internationally has appreciated my efforts a lot, and since I participated myself, have some other awards. I won some other awards, which I'll explain later on from IEEE. It was not an easy path for me to carry on to continue. It was full of lots and lots of troubles, difficulties, challenges, sacrifices, and whatever you want to call it. Thankfully, I have been able to gone through all these hurdles and kept on, I mean, going through them or achieving them step by step. So this year, finally, lots and lots of people came to know about my successes. Thank you very much to our team, the organizers, the IEEE team, the organizers have, uh, who I mean, gave me this opportunity, who believed in me, and who appreciated all my hard work efforts. And thank you very much to all the others who have remained the part of this campaign throughout the country or internationally as well. All the chapters. Probably today is going to be the last session. And by the way, guys, again, one thing, uh, the deadline to register yourself has been extended from October 12th to been extended from October 12th to October 16th. So you still got time to register yourself if you have not already. So probably this seems to be my last session for this year, and I was very happy to see lots and lots of queries, interests, and lots and lots of people in the masses showing their interest towards programming and the competition. This is the URL of, I would also request the moderator to share with your audience. I would request if you can take some time and share your details with me. What I'll do is that I'll uh, keep your information confidential with myself. If there are going to be other opportunities in the future related to programming or IEEE or this competition, I'll let you know myself. And the good programmers are always needed everywhere around the globe. It would also give you an opportunity to interact with me. I am a programmer and I love to do programming. I love coding. I still do coding, and I want to keep on doing coding till the end of my time. And all those good programmers who are listening me, it will give me, if you fill your data, your information on the provided URL, moderator would share with you. It would give me an opportunity to network with you for future ventures or activities. Coaching or mentoring for IEEE. These are some URLs, important ones. Kindly note them down. And if you still have any query, my email is mentioned on your screen. Kindly note it down and do write to me your feedback. Do write your feedback about the session, what was covered, what was missed, what you liked, what you did not like, what you want to be incorporated, and further for the next year competition, what are your expectations? Because maybe if you are in first year, freshman or sophomore or third year, so probably next year you would again get a chance to participate in the competition. I would ensure that your feedback, I'll filter out your feedback, weed it out, and I'll ensure that your feedback is shared with the concerned higher ups and authorities. Thank you very much. Questions and answers. I would give control to the moderator and let me know.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now, if we can see the questions.
Moderator, is this a question or I can hear some noise?
Sir, it is a question. How many authors are added in single journal?
How many authors are added in single journal? What sort of journal? It's a competition. It's a programming competition. There are going to be 3 members in the competition.
Okay, sir.
The
Thank you.
question is from V. Sukumar. Let me answer.
Yes.
It's a competition. There are going to be 3 team members who will participate in the competition. At maximum 3 members. If you want to participate alone, you can do that. There is no restriction. Thank you very much, Hitesh Kumar ji. Thank you. I really appreciate. Sanjeev, the question, or it's a kind of remark. Thank you very
Yes,
much,
sir.
Sanjeev. Sunny Salhan, very nice, sir. Good vibes. Thank you very much, Sunny. Roxane Kalwag, please forgive me if my pronunciation is not good. Thank you very much, Roxane. As always, the remarks are, as always, it is very informative. I really appreciate that. Anwaruzzaman Azad, Mr. Anwaruzzaman Azad, his remarks are nice presentations. Thank you very much. These are all good remarks. I think there are no questions. Maybe I covered everything pretty much.
Sir, you
Thank you
covered
for your
everything.
sharing.
It was very informative
Yeah,
and
thank
very
you very much.
useful.
I love you, all of you. I also feel honored and love to be with all of you. Next remarks are from Sumit Gupta. Nice and useful session. Thank you, Sumit. Next one is Mr. Athar Mahmood. Thank you. He says, thank you for the presentation. Thank you for attending. Next one is from Mr. Kumar. Great, highly informative session. Thank you very much, Mr. Kumar. I appreciate that. Next one is Mr. S. Rupan. Good presentation. Thank you very much, Mr. That's it.
Sir, I
Next
guess
one
that's it.
is next remark, Syed Kamran Rauf. Nice, he says, nice presentation. Thank you very much, Syed Kamran. बहुत शुक्रिया आपका. Next one is Jamila Pasir, Miss Jamila Pasir. Keep safe and she says keep safe and healthy, everyone. Thank you very much. Same here. I think I covered pretty much everything. There are no questions. Yeah.
No, sir,
Next
there are
one
no
is,
questions.
I think, moderator, these are remarks. Rather,
Yes,
I
sir.
read it out. You should read your screen out. If there is any
Sir,
question, I'll attend.
sir, I don't think there are any further questions.
Okay, then you should continue your session. I should wait and watch for the questions if there are going to be any.
Okay, sir. We are done with the session for today, and wish us good luck for the competition, and hope to see you again. And stay safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Why Women in Engineering Lahore section, especially for conducting today's session. It got delayed due to some reasons, but finally it happened. I really liked all your efforts, especially to Miss Safura and your entire team. You guys rocked the show and you are brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Take
Take
care.
care.
Bye.
Allah
Take
Hafiz.
care. Allah Hafiz.